Hi, my name is Bill Felber. I am with CZAD, the Center of Excellence for Emerging and Zoonotic Animal Diseases at Kansas State University. CZAD is a Department of Homeland Security Center of Excellence in the study of zoonotic and animal diseases. And I'm visiting today with Dr. Juergen Recht, who is the director of CZAD, and we're talking about the 1918 Spanish flu outbreak, the pandemic that is, we're going to be observing its centennial coming up here in the near future. Dr. Recht, I appreciate your taking the time to visit with us today. And I wanted to begin by asking you about the demographics of the Spanish flu outbreak, who suffered from it and how it took place.
So I think one of the hallmarks of pandemic flu outbreaks are that not only if a normal flu epidemic, which we have every year, mainly very young and old people are affected, but with these pandemic outbreaks of more virulent flu viruses, also young, very healthy, immunocompetent people are affected. So the Spanish flu outbreak really affected the life expectancy of US citizens significantly because it wiped out a lot of younger people during that 1918 plus period.
What was the particular cause of that epidemic and what made it so virulent compared to other flu epidemics?
So obviously we cannot go back and study it in detail anymore, why it was so virulent during that time, but what was done was, and I gave a 5-minute update a couple days ago on the history and what happened with the Spanish flu virus, and scientists were able about 10-15 years ago to rescue that virus from a test tube and make it viable and lively again. And so they infected monkeys, rhesus macaques, in a study, and I was part of that study when they did that in Canada in a BSL-4 facility. And the most important clinical sign we could see was they had very severe respiratory disease. And when we did autopsy on these animals, their lungs had severe edema. So more or less the lungs were flooded with water and cytokines. And so they were not able to breathe anymore and died. So that was the hallmark of that virus, that it really induces severe lung edema.
And I might add that people who are interested in reviewing the video that Dr. Rick spoke about can see it on our website. It's part of our series on the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic, and you can view it there or on Facebook. Dr. Rick, I'm also interested in having you tell us just briefly what we can learn as scientists or as a civilian community going forward from that outbreak that we can apply in the future.
So as you can imagine, there was a lot of discussion on should scientists rescue viruses which are deadly in nature, but dead because nobody has ever isolated it. Is that the right thing to do? Or is that the wrong thing to do? I believe it's the right thing to do because when we study these viruses which are so virulent in animal models which mimic or are similar to humans in a secure and safe environment where both the people who work with these animals and these viruses are protected as well as the environment, we can learn a lot what can happen if we have a really virulent pandemic influenza virus. And in this case we learned that it is mainly affected, which influenza viruses do, the upper and lower respiratory tract, the lung, but it uses incredible innate immune responses. And these are mainly cytokines, we call it. And so the lungs are flooded with these cytokines, and then you use the ability to breathe. So that's one thing we learned. What is the major virulence or the major virulence factor of these viruses? That's number one. Number two is, can we protect with a vaccine against these viruses? And if yes, what are the best vaccines to use so we can produce vaccines against it and see how efficacious they are? Can our present diagnostic tests we have in different laboratories available, can they detect these kind of strains which are highly virulent? And then these are the basic things we can learn from it, and then we can also learn from it what kind of gene motifs within a virus are necessary to make a virus really deadly, highly deadly or very virulent versus a milder virus. So we can learn several things by doing this kind of studies. And I have to repeat again, we have to do these studies in a safe and secure environment where we protect the people who work with these agents and with the animals infected with these agents, as well as the environment.
Well, Dr. Richt, I appreciate your taking the time to visit with us on this important subject today. If you're interested in the Spanish flu and the 1918 pandemic, and also in research and what's going forward on that, I invite you to visit our website, czad.com, or our Facebook page, and you can review the material we posted there. For CZAD, I'm Bill Felber. Thank you.